Thank you so much for joining me, Dan. I love just your insight on life and, everything you've been through and how it's really taught you a lot about life and living. So I'm excited to have you here today.
Well, thank you, Brandi. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Yeah. So I think we'll just really jump right into it just because the way you think about life is just, I think we can all learn a lot from it. So I really want to jump in just with the first question of when you think back now to what life was before your brain injuries, looking back on that, how does it feel now?
Good question, Brandi. This injury brought life down to the studs. It really forced me to take a look in the mirror and see who I was showing up for myself and others, and decide that I'm going to choose to live life a different way, to be a better person, to be a better self. I've done a lot of introspection into like myself, who I am, how I present to the world, how I am with friends and loved ones. And I'd like to say I'm better. I think I am. I really understood the value of friendship, of love, of family during this process. And I think this really clarified my lens on life.
Yeah.
So I think I show up totally different now than I was in the past. Yeah, I think it's really shaped my way to be and my outlook on life going forwards.
Yeah. When you talk about that work that you did, what work would you say you've done on yourself?
Oh, how long is the podcast?
I know, right?
Like tons. I mean, I really. The first thing I did was stop the pity party, right? The woes me, this isn't fair. Because you're right, it's not fair. And when that mindset shift happens, it's not fair. Cool. Now what?
Yeah.
You've already decided it's not fair. Cool. That's off the table now. You can't talk about it anymore. Now what are you going to do? And for me, it was reading books by Tim Ferriss. I think he's got like a book about like hacks and habits and stuff that people use. And I read that. I found that meditation was a big thing, right? So I did a lot of meditation. I meditate every day for 20 minutes. But I really got into my body. Mood follows action. Rich Roll says that. I work out now more for vanity rather than sanity, to keep my mindset focused on the task and keep up the anxiety that can kind of creep into my life. So I work out like a fiend. I do something called men's work every week, which is like a group of men to get together, talk about their lives and their issues, and people ask questions to help them find solutions themselves. It's kind of like therapy light, I guess you could say. I consume a lot of content about self-improvement, and I've decided that I'm not going to let this define my life. I'm going to live a life that I'm capable of within the restrictions of what I've experienced and just go at life full hog. It's an empowering mindset. It's daunting at times, but it's allowed me to get to where I'm at today. So I think it's I can't fault it one bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I always call my just health issues that I've had like a blessing in disguise in a way, just because at the lowest moment of my life, I learned life and I learned what it truly meant to live. And just like you, what is most important to me. And I can tell through yours, you mentioned friends and family. And I know when we talked on the phone before this episode, you talked about that support and how those people really rallied around you. Can you describe like when that started? So I know you were 28, right, when all this happened.
Yeah.
And you went back home and you moved home. Talk about that time of having that support and how that helped you get out of that phase.
So yeah, this happened in London, as you mentioned. My family actually came to London to live with me for a couple of years.
Okay.
And so they left their lives behind them here in Vancouver and came over to London to support me. My mom had just retired, so luckily she was able to do that.
Yeah.
My dad came a few months later, but was there quite often in the hospital. Well, he was there in the hospital in the beginning, but he had to come home to sort out the house. But they supported me tremendously. Like, they helped me get my life back together and back on my feet. And it's an ongoing thing, right? I'm still got stuff I'm struggling through and issues I'm overcoming, but I'm getting there one step at a time. And it's just a matter of making this work.
Mm-hmm.
Friends and family were phenomenal. Friends came to visit me off in the hospital, and they always told me, Dan, it was never a chore to come visit you. You were never downtrodden and woes me. You were always, happy to see them. And I put on a brave face, I'll be honest. Like I didn't want to be like the dour patient that you go visit to like, feel better about yourself and your life. It was more about like I want to make
Yeah.
them feel like, thank you, you really helped my day. You brought up my day. And that was truthful. I really did appreciate their support. But when the family goes home in the hospital, right? It's a different night staff that comes on board, right? The doctors go home,
Mm-hmm.
the parents go home, the families go home, the friends go home. And you're in this room in the ICU in the early days with all the other inmates or the patients, and the wails of their cries and their agony was so loud I couldn't sleep for the first few nights
Wow.
because it was so haunting. I'm like, where the hell am I right now? This is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something I had to overcome on my own because obviously no one can help me get through this difficult part on my own. But it was like, this is something you need to face and get through this. The day and the night of the hospital are like yin and yang. And the night is what really fosters who you are. You understand what you're made of and what you can overcome.
Wow.
But it took some work, and I got some noise canceling headphones, and I went with those, and eventually I could sleep just fine. But it took a few nights to get over that, and I was exhausted the first few days after this in the hospital.
Wow. The way that you talk about day and night in the hospital, it's so true because during the day you're so busy. You have doctors in and out, nurses in and out most of the time during the day. And at the night is when you're able to quietly sit with those thoughts too. Did you ever have those times in the hospital where you sat with those thoughts and really had to mentally push through?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it was one day healthy, active guy. Next day, woke up from a coma. 4 weeks later, being told you can't walk, talk, or smile. In the hospital bed, just being like, this isn't my life. I was healthy yesterday. And of course, yesterday was 4 weeks ago and yesterday. But like, I was playing sports. I was in Lithuania the weekend before this. I was visiting my girlfriend at the time and playing sports on the weekends and drinking lots of beers and new promising career in tech. Like, life was going fast and loose for me, right? I was having a great old time.
Yeah.
And then it comes to a crashing halt where you just go, okay, that was you. Now this is you right now in that hospital bed with the wails of the patients crying around you because it's so dark and bleak in here right now because like their lives have come crashing down just like yours,
Yeah.
and they can't handle the drop, right? And it's just not to say that I handled it off the hop perfectly, but like I made my mindset pretty early on. Like, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that matters.
Mm-hmm.
This didn't kill me. It could have, but didn't kill me. And then I figured, well, I got some fight in me still, so let's get to work on rehab and get in that wheelchair 5 minutes faster than the week before. So 45 minutes, not 50, and then 40, not 45.
Yeah.
40 minutes to go in full send, getting in a wheelchair, right? Small gains. And I was a pretty athletic guy. I played lots of sports, and I'm struggling 40 minutes to get into a bloody wheelchair. Like, it was to the studs. And it was a mindset that said, I'm not going to give up. This isn't where my story ends. To carry on and to keep going. And through a ton of support from friends and family, they got me there, right? They believed in me. They showed love and appreciation. They really supported me along the way. I wouldn't be here without their support.
Yeah. Yeah. It's something about that human connection. For me, there are times where I was like, I wasn't fighting for me. I was fighting for my family. They wanted to
Yeah.
see me alive. They did all this work for me. And, having that community, being on prayer list and people coming around, just always saying, we're thinking about you and praying for you. Those little moments pushed me through during those hard times. And you talk about that community too, which I don't think people understand how important it is. I've had other guests on my podcast and they talk about it too, and how those people help push them through those hard times as well. And that mental strength that it takes to move through. You also talked about, me and you talked about the depression that comes when your life changes in an instant. And you go from, like you said, a normal life where you're having fun, you're traveling a lot, to in an instant you're now in a hospital bed trying to understand what's going on with you. If you don't mind, you don't have to go into deep detail, but I think it's important for people to understand how to make it through these depressive episodes.
Well, that's an interesting question, and I think I can answer it to my ability, which is maybe
Yeah.
not fully going to be covering everyone's scope here, but I was never fully depressed. I was not happy about the situation, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I said I wish it didn't happen, but that's the worst I spoke of it. I wish it didn't happen.
Mm.
Not, it's not fair. Why is this happening to me? I wish it didn't happen, but it did.
Yeah.
And I made my mind up that that's where we're at. We're parking that now, and now it's about what you can do about this that matters.
Mm.
I never allowed myself to go down the pity spiral fully because I don't know if you can recover from that, to be honest. I always had some hope in my eyes, some hope in my smile. The thought things could get better. The belief in myself that I could work and get myself out of this hole I found myself down. And that was instilled in me at a young age about, hard work. And if you just put your mind to things, you can make things happen.
Yeah.
Whether it be math tutorials or English tutorials or extra help at school to get through certain classes and grades. Or moving to Sweden and not having a house to live and, making that work. It was just belief in myself that I can make things happen. If I believed in it, I had enough long enough runway, I can make it work. But I know that
Yeah.
it gets quite dark, right? And it gets quite unfair, woe's me. But don't allow yourself to go down that full spiral, right? Like I was still alive. Which, they weren't sure I'd be making it out this alive. I was in a coma for 4 weeks. And it was pretty dicey there for a number of weeks there. I was on ice blankets above and below me to keep my core temperature down. Violent shivering.
Mm-hmm.
Breathing was done with help of a respirator. Alarms constantly went off as blood pressure spiked to heart rate too high. Dire straits. And I came out the other side. Now, it's what you make of it that you think about that matters more than what it was. It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to that matters. So I got to work. Rehabbing like a fiend. This is my life. I'm going to make the best of this that I can. I'm not going to throw in the towel and say this isn't fair. It's not fair. But this is my life. The odds of you being a human being are 400 trillion to 1. 400 trillion to 1, right? More likely to win the lotto 10 times in your lifetime than you have life in the first place. You get to do this. So I shifted my mindset to like, you know what? I'm only Dan MacQueen because it's my DNA. Without it, it wouldn't be me. And I wouldn't trade myself for the world. My memories, my experiences, my love, my loss, like all the joy I've had, all the sorrow I've had. I've got to experience that because of this blip in my DNA. Without it, it wouldn't be me.
Yeah.
So I squelched the pity party pretty early, and I got to work on just building myself back up. But it was not an easy task to do, and it's not a simple thing to do, but it's simple, not easy. Simple to decide, but not easy to actually fulfill that, right?
Yeah, very
Like
true.
every day is not easy, right? But I decide that I'm going to do it for that day, and I chalk it up as a win, and I move on to the next day. Chalk it up as a win. It's about small incremental steps, right? Don't try to climb the whole mountain at once. Pick a target you can hit, and then ratchet up from that point.
Yeah, I think it's so awesome that you didn't let yourself go there. I think the way that your mindset works, though, is you can teach so many people through just not letting yourself go to that pity party and learning that you can go make it through anything. One phrase that stood out to me, that a message of yours is, it's better than yesterday.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you, and how did you arrive at that message for yourself?
So better than yesterday is a mindset of like everything in my life I can do better than I did yesterday. Continuous improvement, which means I'm going to risk failure and risk falling on my face some days because I'm trying out new things and making things work. This can be anything, right? It doesn't have to be a big thing. Like, for instance, I go to the pool on Wednesdays. So yesterday I go to the pool, swim laps. I go for lunch beforehand at a lovely grocer, and I decided I'm going to try a new way to eat lunch. I used to eat at the countertop at the deli, and then I'm like, you know what? There's a Starbucks down the road. Let's go to the Starbucks, get a coffee. It's a bit more enjoyable in there. I'll do that. But I tried it out, and guess what? It's a nice vibe in there. So I'm going to go in there, get a coffee, kick it back on Wednesdays, and improve that. But like everything can be tinkered with. You can improve everything in your life. I do this by repeating. Like I'm very consistent with my schedule, and I stack up things and try things and shift things out and add things to make things work. So I've got routines down that are pretty helpful. I keep my world very simple and very small, but I tinker with it constantly to try and improve what I can do and what I can get out of it. And that
Mm-hmm.
means risking failure and risking disappointment, but like also inevitably leading to a better vibe. So my Wednesdays now are pretty legit. And I swim in the pool. I swim for a number of laps every time. I owe the laps no matter what. Brandi, no matter what. No matter what. Save one exception.
Yeah.
There's a backstroker in my lane. I can negate the lanes entirely and go directly in the sauna. Now, yesterday, I overcame that roadblock. There was a backstroke in my lane, and I pushed through. Managed to get to my 80 laps, which is pretty helpful.
Yeah.
But I was very tempted to leave.
Mm.
And I had an out because that's a clause in my rule that I can ditch if there's a backstroke in the lane. But if you just push through these things right, you can overcome them. And that's to say that don't always overcome and push through, but like I believe in myself that I can make things work if I keep going at things. If I keep consistently working at it and chipping away at this process.
Yeah.
But it's a mindset you got to foster. And once the mindset's in place, everything trickles down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you get the mindset right, you can do almost anything.
Yeah. And you said something very powerful there. You believed in yourself that you could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You,
Like if,
you, yeah. Will you explain that more?
yeah, like I mean, Alice Hormozy says you don't get confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror. You get confident by repeatedly doing what you say you're going to do, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out. You build a stack of evidence that says you do what you say you're going to do. So swimming in the pool yesterday, for instance, 80 lengths is pretty big, Dan. It is pretty big. I'm not going to lie. That was not an easy
That
thing to do
is.
yesterday. But I was at like 40. I'm like, oh, 80. This is humongous. There's a
Yeah.
backstroke here. I can punt immediately. I can go directly in the sauna. That's my rule. I said, no, Dan, just chip away. Do another 10. Do another 10. Do another 10 before you know I'm at 80. But I believe that I can do it because I've got that stack of evidence that says I do what I say I'm going to do. I've done this for years. I've got a note on my phone that says I've got time or a number of lengths in the time it took me to do it. And it goes back for probably 6 years, 7 years. So 80 and that was 68 yesterday. So an hour and 8 minutes. But I've got that stack of evidence that says I do what I say I'm going to do. So I believe in myself. I know I can do this because I've done this in the past.
Yeah.
Just do that for yourself. Pick something small. Like I'm going to go walk for 2 blocks this week. Next block's do 4 blocks. Then 6 blocks.
Yeah.
It's all about aiming small, missing small, and ratcheting it up. What I mean by ratchet up is that's the new benchmark. That's the new baseline.
Mm-hmm.
So I meditate every morning for 20 minutes. It's a big number. Don't start with 20 minutes. You'll fail. Don't think of a pink elephant. But I started with 2 minutes in the morning, right?
Yeah.
This week I did 4. Then I did 6. Then I did 8. Sorry, Brandi, we still there?
Yeah. You're good.
Okay, I lost you there for a second. Sorry, it's
Uh-oh.
gonna mess up your editing.
No, that's fine.
So let's go back to where I was at here. So we did 2 minutes in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Next week I do 4. Week after I do 6. Aim small, miss small, and then ratchet up to that new benchmark. 2 becomes a baseline, then it's 4, then it's 6. And I'm only trying to go for 2 minutes more, right, than the week before. So that step is so small that obviously I can hit it because I've done 4 minutes last week. Obviously I can do 6 this week.
Yeah.
And then 8, and then 12, and then 14, and then you just ratchet up to the point where that's the baseline. That's the unquestionable baseline of what you do. And that's how you can scale and reach big goals through small, consistent action. It's a mindset. It's a framework. It's a belief that I can improve myself by keep going through this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Aim small, miss small, and ratchet is one of the suggestions I'd give your audience of how you can achieve big goals through consistent, meaningful work.
I love that. So what I hear is these small incremental improvements for you to believe in yourself honestly and know that you can accomplish much more than you maybe say in your head. Or there's so many times mentally where we doubt ourselves and we don't think we can do it. And that's what I love through your story, because I feel like somebody that has survived 2 brain injuries that is learning and still living their life and really taking it day by day. If we can't learn this from you, like who else can we learn this from? You've really done the work, you do the practice every day. And I think you have just really great advice because we all struggle somewhere mentally where it's we're doubting ourselves or we're hard on our bodies or we are perfectionists or procrastinators. And so to learn that it's that mindset shift and that we have to shift our mindset in order to believe in ourselves and know that we can accomplish it. I think that's awesome.
And one thing I want to add on to that too, Brandy, is no doesn't mean forever. It just means right now.
I love that.
Like no's not like no, you can never do this again. It's like no, not right now.
Yeah.
Try in 6 months. Try in a year. Try in 2 years. But keep trying at things, right? Try this most important bit. Try. That's the most important bit. If you're not trying
Yeah.
at stuff, I can't help you. Like my talks are not going to be helpful for you because I talk about grinding up against failure and failing constantly. If you're not comfortable with failure, then don't listen to what I'm saying. Don't book me to
Yeah.
speak. You're going to be disappointed. I
Yeah.
fail all the time, but I don't fail at the same thing twice. I improve. I fail better. I ratchet up to a point where I like, well, maybe I can get around this way. No, no, no. Oh, I got around it this way. But the next roadblock hits, and you're like, oh, I can't get through this. But like, try. That's the most important bit. I gave
Yeah.
this talk for the outpatients at Wilson Rehab Center, my old rehab center. I speak about swimming in my talks, as I mentioned on this podcast earlier. After hearing me speak about swimming and how important that was for me to get doing, he said, I'm going to try swimming again. Before the injury, I used to swim all the time. Since the injury, I haven't swum since because it's so labor intensive. When I explained to him that I used to change for 30 minutes and swim for 10 and change for 30, he was like, well, I guess I can give it a try. He's changing for 30 minutes. It's a long time. And maybe he stopped after the one time because it was too difficult. Maybe he kept going. Maybe I'm the reason he kept swimming. He kept trying to fail and improving, right?
Yeah.
It's about ratcheting up, right? And now I swim for I changed for 5 minutes, swim for an hour and 18 or 8 minutes yesterday. Swim
Wow.
tonight for probably 40 and 30. But like, I got there by small incremental steps. Not by doing an hour and 18 off the hop. I did 5 minutes in the pool, then 10 minutes in the pool, then 20. Like, you get there
Yeah.
by small, consistent action, right?
Yeah. So small wins. And that's something I think we always need to also recognize is when you do something that may seem small, not a big win, that it's just as important. And it's okay to celebrate and remember that because, like you said, it gets you to the next small win. Like you said, if start 2 minutes walking, okay, now try 4 the week and then 2 more extra after that. It's the small wins.
You
Yeah, you're
ladder up and
building it
it's
up.
easy to do, right? It's just like just 2 minutes more. Who can't do 2 minutes more?
Yep. Yeah. And like you said, it's all about trying too. You've got to try, but
If
you've
you're not
got to try and
trying,
know you're going to fail.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you at all if
Yeah.
you're not trying. Like straight up. Because like I have failed
Yeah.
so many times on stuff that, people told me this is impossible to do. You should stop trying this. And I'm like, well, guess what? I've done this. Like for instance, I used to shower with a bath mat. And it was a symbol that I couldn't shower because I needed a bath mat to stand in the shower. It drove me nuts. Because I hang it up in the shower to dry afterwards on the wall. And it would drip down. It's a symbol I'm not good enough to shower. It drove
Yeah.
me nuts. It drove me absolutely nuts. So one day, I decide I don't need this bath mat anymore. Parents are like, "Oh, damn! The doctor said you need the bath mat. Don't shower with the bath mat." I don't need the bath mat anymore. And guess what?
Yeah.
I was just fine in the shower, so I retired the bath mat. Only by risking failure can you see where your real baseline is at. Now, don't go try this and hurt yourself and blame me on this. Like that's not the intention here. But the idea is that you're not trying hard enough. You're not pushing the threshold long enough. When was the last time you failed at something? If you're not failing, you're not actually pushing the boundaries of success. And that
Yeah.
shower analogy there is kind of a good indication of like what trial and error looks like. And luckily for me, it worked out. But I only got there by risking failure, right? Oh, Dan, you can't shower with the bat mat. That's too dangerous. It's like, well, let's try it.
I want to go back to a point you said also about saying no and learning that no just means not right now. I think a lot of the times when you hear no, you think that means, all right, that's off the table forever, for the
Yeah.
rest of my life. And you can hear
Yeah,
no in so many capacities. You can hear
so
it
many
in
capacities, man.
careers. You can hear it just day to day, asking somebody a question, and they say, no, I can't do that. Like it's everywhere. Do you have any insight on that you'd like to share?
I heard that in a podcast a little while ago, probably a couple years ago by now, and it's just like, oh, obviously. But in my head, when you hear no, you're like, oh, I guess that means I can't do that again.
Yeah.
That's off the table. And you're like, no, 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 it just means not right now.
Yep.
It means try again later, fail again later, and then improve, and then ratchet up, right? You may not succeed the second time or the third time, or the fifth time or the 10th time. But the 15th time, that's when you get a yes.
Yep.
Like me speaking now, I'm a keynote speaker based in Vancouver, Canada. I get told no all the time. But I'm putting some proposals together now, like maybe we'll get a yes from.
Yep.
Maybe we'll get some successful traction on this, right? It's like I'm just failing better. I'm improving myself and making it bespoke for the groups and really drilling down to the information I've got and failing better. Improving my fail process. But that's what life's about. Like I used to work in tech, right, for a company called Hootsuite, and we've like that company loved Hootsuite, big love for Hootsuite. But that like the development team there like would just build something and it would work or wouldn't work, and they'd move on, or they'd build it out or they'd cancel it. Like they would just fail fast, and then improve it and like ratchet up. But like adopt this mindset of failing fast, trying things out. If it works, great, and improve it. If not, punt it and then move on, or try it again later down the road and improve yourself, and then try it again,
Yeah.
and then improve yourself down the road and then try again. But it's about not giving up.
Yeah.
I can't stress how important that is. Like the mindset of just like I can do this. Once that breaks above your head, it just cascades down to everything. Yeah, not right now I can't do it, but maybe I can in a couple months. In a year
Yeah.
I can do this. In 3 years I can for sure do this.
Yeah.
If you consistently work at it, like, but show me your work, show me your fails, show me you're trying.
Yeah.
Try, that's the most important bit. That's the most important thing I can tell your audience is just try. And fail, and then try again and fail. But keep going. The person that throws up their hands says, I can't do it, this is too difficult, you've got me here, this is out of control. Like, do you know how many times I wanted to do that? Throw my hands and be like, this isn't fair, you got me here, this is a tough one to get out of.
Yeah.
But I didn't do it. I kept going. And I'm not perfect now. I've still got lots of quirks and Lord knows that there's lots of stuff I can still improve, but like, I'm still going. I'm still failing. I'm still trying things out and making this work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sparing the horses here. 400 trillion to one, right? Your chance to be alive in the first place. You want to tell me this isn't fair? This card came with my hand, I'm not going to play the whole hand? You've got a hand to play, man. Play the hand.
Yeah.
Like, to the best of your ability, play the hand. And that's... I get a bit fired up about this because like it really bothers me when people just say, it's not fair, I'm going to give up on life now. It's like, because you have this one thing you want to give up on life now? It's like, this is ridiculous. Listen to yourself speak.
Yeah.
I was dead to rights 3, probably 4 times. Like, in the hospital and brain surgery. I've had 4 eye surgeries since the brain surgery to try and correct the dull vision I've got.
Yeah.
And the last one, well, 3 times ago, third one I had, on the left eye, first on the left, 2 on the right, one first on the left, backfired tremendously. It adjusted my eyesight ever so slightly. Now the brain's just like, what's going on? My head tilts a lot to the left because I can't look at you directly in the eyes. Because the brain's just like, what's happening here? My dad asked me, he goes, Dan, do you regret having the eye surgery? I stammered out quick, yes, it's changed everything. It's changed everything. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized I was taking the next step. Reminded by this book by Charlie Munger, The Boy, the Fox, the Horse, and the Mole. The boy's walking through a thick wood. He yells back at the horse. He goes, I can't see a way through. The horse says, can you see your next step? The boy says, yeah. The horse says, well, then just take that. Just take that. That's what I was doing the yesterday, taking the next step. And sometimes that step backfires, that failed. This isn't 1 step back, this is 30 steps back. This like destroyed my whole vibe. My confidence was shot. Now fast forward to 6 months ago, I had the 4th surgery in the eyes. 2 on the right, 2 on the left. This is straight in the eyes, yes. Still got double vision, which is, wonderful. But it's improved a lot. And I only got there by taking the next step. But you got to risk failure for that step, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to... Don't settle for life, man. Life is not worth settling for. Like, don't be like, well, I guess I'm going to stay here now.
Yeah.
Screw that. I'm not sparing the horses here.
Yeah.
And I suggest
you
you do the same too. Get that fire in your belly. Like, it's like life that you get to live.
It is. Yeah. I also want to talk about not focusing on the past because I think with your story, there's so many times where you could have let the past tell you no, and you could have let the past stop you from trying. Like you said, all of the eye surgery, and you kept going forward and moving forward no matter what the past may have looked like for you.
Tomorrow's in the past. Tomorrow's gone. You can't change tomorrow. You can. The future is not here yet. You have this moment in time right now where you're at. You can dwell on the past and take away from your future, or you can focus on the present and focus on what you can do to improve that present time. So I'm focused on improving what I can do, what's in my control. Control the controllables is a Stoic through line I use in my talks. Control what you can't control. If you're going through a tough time in life right now, I want you to do this exercise with me. Write down a list of stuff on a piece of paper, everything bothering you in your life that's an issue. Free write this, just write it out. Draw a line underneath it. Divide that line into two, controllables or uncontrollables. Can I influence or control this? If yes, do something about it. If no, I punt it immediately. I cross it out. Not a worry. Not a worry in the world. I can't deal with this crap right now.
Yeah.
Pardon the language.
No, you're fine.
But, just... What are you looking at, right?
Yeah.
What can I control? What can't I control? Don't stress about stuff you can't control. Keep life simple. It's not that complicated, right? It's simple, not easy. Simple to decide this and then just execute. Execute, execute. And that's not easy to do. Believe me, it's tiring as all hell. But, I'm up for it. I'm going to show up today. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you next week. I'll see you next month. I'll see you next year. I'll be still here trying. I'll still be banging the drum saying, hey, you got a life to live. Live the life you want. Live the life you can.
I want to talk about grit because, like you said, it's not easy to have to fail and to keep trying. It's not easy to go through something and to kind of to start changing that mindset. How would you define grit to you, especially when the path forward, isn't clear?
Grit is the ability to not give up. The ability to say, is that all you got? I'm moving to a new branding for my speaking business. Why me? To try me. Try me is kind of that Rocky famous video where he's waving on the fighter. Like, is that all you got? Is that all you got?
Yep.
It's refusal to stay down and say this is okay. It's saying, I'm coming at you till the end. And damn it, I'm coming at you till the end. It's not adversarial, confrontational. It's more saying, look, no, try me. I'm going to get up and fight for this because I want to, because I can. The refusal to stay down and to say, you got me. I'm never going to say you got me. I'm going to keep fighting till the last breath. There was a moment early on in this injury when I was like, should I let go? Is this too much to overcome? And I was like, no, Dan, don't ever say that again.
Yeah.
Don't ever say you're going to let this take you. I'm going to fight to the bitter end. And that's... I want to be respectful of people they're going through a tough time right now. But I didn't let go. And look where I am now.
Yeah.
My life's not perfect by any stretch. It's, I work every day to make my life tolerable and enjoyable. But I never gave up. And grit is the ability to not give up when the odds seem so insurmountable. It seems impossible. It seems like you can't get out. Well, there's a window over there. Hit the window.
You went through not one, but two emergency brain surgeries. I'm interested to know how your mindset differed between those two brain surgeries. Where were you mentally then?
Yeah, so I just got back to work after a year from the first brain surgery. 2.5 days a week, 3.5 days a week. I'm turning and burning in life. I'm back to work, back to socializing. I'm putting this behind me, right?
Yeah.
And I used to be my mom on the tube before I went to work in the morning. She'd go off on her walk, and I go into the office. Happy days. One day I didn't show up. Calls my cell, no response. Walks back to my flat, about a 5-minute walk from Goldhawk Road Tube Station on the Hammersmith and City line. Opens the door. There I am, unconscious. I'm rushed to the hospital. Wake up the next day. The beeping noise of the heart monitor going off behind me. Beep, 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 beep. What happened? What happened? What happened? Well, Dan, you had a second brain surgery. What do you mean? The shunt that's in my brain from the first brain surgery had blocked, leading to hydrocephalus. Very rare, the doctor tells me, less than 10% of cases. And I'm thinking, lucky me, man. 10% of cases and this hits me? This is going to be insane. But like, I describe my recovery like a W. The first setback's, down here. I kind of scamper my way back up, halfway back up. The second setback's not where the first one was. Much lower. The depths of the human experience. You want to talk about grit? This is where grit came up to me in a big way.
Yeah.
And it wasn't an overnight thing where I was like, oh, I'm back on my feet. I'm still alive. It was like, no, I was devastated. Like, all that work was washed away from an instant.
Yeah.
Rehab, like, all that work for a year was gone. I was back at the office. I was putting this behind me, right?
Yeah.
And I realized that rock bottom, well, bedrock's a pretty good foundation to build from. The rehab gains were lost, but I didn't make you go rehab faster because I had just done rehab. I could do it better this time. I could attack it faster. So we got to work, and I call work chop wood, carry water. And I implemented that 2-minute thing, right? And swam and ration, and just got back up. Meditating, going to the gym, eating clean. Like, choose to fight this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't. That was the hardest thing I've done in my life. Was that second setback? The hardest thing I've ever done in my life, bar none.
Yeah.
And I chose not to let it beat me.
Yeah.
It was a mental game, much more than the physical game, much more than the physical limitations I've got from the brain surgery. It was like how you want to think about it that lets you navigate this. Once the mindset's made up, I'm going right. Well, I'm going right then. And I'm not going to relent until it's like I'm happy with it. But like you decide that, right? No one else tells you like, guess this is your lot now. You're stuck here. It's like, no, you decide that, man. And call it stubbornness, call it bullheadedness, call it a fight for life, call it grit. But like I'm still here, waving you on, saying, "Is that all you got? Try me."
Yep.
And
that's when stubbornness is a good thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me just think back to when I came out of remission of being diagnosed, and the second time around, you're totally right. It takes more mental strength because you know what you're going through. You know the fight that you have to go through. And like you said, you have to change that mindset. But I love the way you said, I already know how physical therapy is. Now this time I'm going to see if I can do it better. Everything I know I have to go through, all right, I'm going to do it better the second time around, and changing that mindset.
Better than yesterday, right?
Better than yesterday. Yeah.
And that's a gut punch and a half to have this happen to you, and like to be like, oh, better than yesterday. All these whimsical lines and expressions we've got now are looking back at the injury. At the moment of contact, I'm like, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
How am I going to get through this? Like, well, don't give up. But like better than yesterday, it's like a real thing, right? Like I really embodied that to improve my life after that second setback, because I had already done rehab. I wasn't entitled to go back to that. But I knew I could do it better this time. I just done all the crap they told me to do. I'll do it faster this time. I can rehab faster and better.
Yeah. What would you say to listeners who are in that setback right now and they just feel stuck? They don't see a path forward. Do you have any tips for them?
Yeah, I'd say get into your body as much as you can. Mood follows action. 2-minute walks. Stretch for 2 minutes, then 4 minutes, then 6 minutes. Like, I do push-ups every morning. I don't want to brag about this, but I want to talk about the number that I do. So don't take this as like me boasting about this number, okay?
Yeah.
I do 100 push-ups in the morning. Sets of 20. But I started with 5, then 10, then 15, then 20, then 5 sets of 20. Like, it was just like, you ratchet up to a point where you can handle slowly, consistently over time. But get into your body, I think it's the first thing, because mood follows action. Just to allow yourself to be spry and capable. And if you're not able to get into your body, like just do arm stretches or hand exercises or something that's going to challenge you and give you a benchmark to push for the next week and stack wins on top of, right?
Yeah.
I think getting into your body is the most important thing. Like I swim 3 times a week in the pool, and that's, move from vanity to sanity.
Yeah.
It keeps my mind pure and not the anxiety at bay. If I don't swim, I don't exercise, I feel like, well, what are you doing with your life, Dan? This is ridiculous. Like, you're trying to be a speaker now? This is insane.
Yeah.
But if I thrash the body in the pool as best I can, I'm not worried about like this the anxiety monster in the back of the room being like, what are you doing? It's like that. It's out the door now. But get
Yeah.
into your body, I'd say that's probably the first and foremost thing to take on board. And get the mindset right, right? Reprogramming your life to like, I get to do this. I could be dead, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
No disrespect to what you've been through, but like, it could be worse. As much as that adage sucks, it really could be worse.
It could be. Yeah. You talked about meditation earlier and how meditation has helped you. I've been so interested in it. I haven't started, but it's something that I really want to look into. But I hear people say all the time, it is hard to sit still. Like you said, you do 20 minutes, that's a very long time meditating.
But I started with 2 minutes, and then I did four, and then I did six. So like when you're thinking about meditation, you've done 2 minutes one week. Well, 2 minutes more is not that. There's only 2 minutes more. 4 minutes.
Yeah.
That's only 6 minutes. That's only 2 minutes more, right? That's 6 minutes. That's only 2 minutes more. That's 8 minutes. But like that's how you stack these wins up and build momentum.
Yeah.
Momentum is so key for this because once you start getting momentum on your side, you can let it do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's only 2 minutes more. I can get to 20 minutes because it was 18 minutes last week. Like 2 minutes more. But like ratchet this up. But aim small, miss small, and ratchet's how you get there.
Yeah.
But meditation is good for me just to kind of clear out the cobwebs in my mind, and I find it kind of centers me and gets me like less stressed about things. I can take a breath, take some anxiety out, and just focus on the day at hand. So I meditate for 20 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening before I go to bed. And I find that that helps me kind of ground myself and just align myself better for the day. But yeah, it's not easy to sit still for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 3 minutes or 2 minutes. But if you can do two, then you can do four. And if you can do four, you can do six. If you do six, you do eight. If you do eight, you do 10. That's how you get to 20.
I want to know a little bit about your story as far as like, I know you said you had to do physical therapy, but did you have to learn the basic skills again of like walking, talking, smiling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I was, after the brain injury, my leg had atrophied in the coma, so my left leg was not viable. So I had to wear a splint 1 hour a night to help stretch the leg muscle. The splint's like a cast over your leg to gently tease the leg muscle back into shape. Now the first night I wore the splint through the night, no issue, no stress, this will be easy. I thought this will be easy. Hinting is not going to be easy, right? The second night, after 20 minutes it was painful. After 30 minutes it was dreadful. After 40 minutes it was unbearable. I buzzed the nurse. Take the splint off my leg because I can't handle the pain. But tomorrow, I told them, tomorrow we're doing this for an hour. I'm going to walk where I can handle the pain. Big talk. Big talk,
Yeah.
right? Third night, they ripped the leg. Tied off with the ankle. Give me the clicker, the nurse call button. They go patrol the Wilson ward. Now, the Wilson ward was in L shape, so short on this side, long on this side. Short on this side, long on this side.
Oof.
Leave me in a hospital room that smells like only a hospital room can smell. It's sanitized, it's sterilized. It's clean, but you're wondering what sort of atrocities have been committed under the guise of loving disastrous. After 10 minutes, the leg's painful. After 20 minutes, the leg's dreadful. After 30 minutes, the leg's unbearable. I start passing the clicker back and forth, trying to distract myself from the pain. As the pain ratchets up, my throats get more enthusiastic. Till eventually, inevitably, I drop the clicker, and it lands on the hardly on the floor 3.5 feet down the ground. Sugar, I say. Brandi, I did not say sugar.
Of course not.
I looked over the edge of the bed. There's the clicker there, lying on the floor looking back at me. If I get that clicker, I can stop this pain. I can end this monstrosity. And
Yeah.
the problem was, a fall from that height might break my arm. I thought about
Oh,
a 50-50
no.
chance you'd break my arm. A coin flip, not the best odds. I changed tack. I'm trying to untie the splint, but it's tied up at the ankle, not at the hip. I can't reach that far down. I'm not that flexible. Help! Help! I yell. The wolves was an L shape, right? Short on this side, long on this side. Short on this side, long on this side. They're at the far end of the ward. They can't hear me out for help. I decided to flip the coin. Drop down and grab the clicker. Even if I break my arm, the splint's got to come with like this part number 1, 2, and 3. 3. Lower myself off the edge of the bed, and I crash down in heat. Blankets, wires, cables, all a go. The arm holds. and I hammer the clicker, expecting the nurses to come bursting into the room, like the bat signal's been put up. They kind of stroll in 5 minutes later. What are you doing on the floor, love? First of all, I say. That's a fantastic British accent there. Where'd you say you're from again? I did not say that, Brandi. I did not say that. It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to the matters, right?
Yep.
The reason why I'm telling these stories, I learned 3 lessons from this experience. The first lesson being, let's not pass the clicker back and forth. That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
The second lesson being, let's tie the splint up at the hip, not the ankle. That way I can untie this shit that's happening going forwards. And the third lesson, and probably most profound, was let's always be solutions oriented from this moment forwards.
Mm-hmm.
When things go sideways in life, which sure is more than they will, how do you resolve your issue? How do you fix your problem? Solutions-based thinking here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like that's the indication of like how walking was for me. That splint was horrifically painful. And I do that for about a month to get myself into the ability to start walking on the Zimmer frame. Then the Ferrari, then naked walks, then walking into Broadway. Like it was all ratcheting this up to one step after another. But it's the next goal, the next goal, the next goal.
Wow. That's such a good story, though, of what can be learned and what you learned from it, for sure. Yeah.
The hard way. I
Bet you
learned it
a
the hard
lot.
way for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. When you go through something like you've been through, you have an identity crisis. Most people do. You know, you're trying to figure out, who am I now? Did you go through that?
Yeah, I'd say I did. I mean, before this injury happened, I was a very popular guy. You know, things came easy to me in life. Well, they didn't at the start, but I made it look like they came easy to me. I was, I would try hard, but I would pretend I wasn't trying that hard.
Yeah.
Girls, sports, job, like I was good at all this stuff, and I was like, I didn't have to work that hard to make it happen.
Yeah.
After the injury, it's like all those soft skills were just gone, like poof, disappeared. And I'm failing so blatantly and so obviously now. As a 39-year-old guy, to fail these things, you're like, I should know this by now. Look, it's
Yeah.
very humbling. It's entirely humbling, but I'm up for the humbling because I'm learning, I'm improving. Things are improving month after month, day after day, year after year. Like I'm ratcheting this up to a point where I'm actually going to start hitting this stuff now, right? But my identity was certainly someone who just had stuff come, happy, lucky guy, easygoing guy, not worried about things too much. Now it's like, no, I do it this way, not this way, because I know what trial and error has taught me. So yeah, it's changed my identity for sure. But at the core of things, I think I'm still the same guy, happy-go-lucky guy who's just stoked on life and up for a good time and up for a challenge.
Yeah. When we spoke on the phone, you told this story about there was something, I can't remember what it was, but you talked about there was something that your doctors told you could never do again. And you were able to do that again. Do you remember us talking
Skiing,
about this?
maybe?
I think it was skiing, yeah. Will you tell that
So,
story? I think it's a great story.
yeah, for sure. I was walking the even bars and the rehab team asked me, what is most looking forward to get back to doing when I get back on my feet? I'm in a wheelchair at the stage, so like everything is like, well, walking would be pretty sick, but let's aim big here, right? What's a big goal I can aim for? And growing up, I played everything: soccer, hockey, volleyball, softball, skiing. It's like, I'd like to ski, and I told them. They paused, nodded in agreement. Okay, they said. Their eyes betrayed them. Ski again. Okay, that sounds great, man. What a great goal to have for yourself. And that was burned in the back of my mind. I'm going to ski again. Growing up, I was a big ski racer. I used to ski instruct for a year as well. Ski a lot of steep bumps. So I was asked when I'm going to make this happen. I said 10 years from my last ski trip, which was 2012. 2 years before the brain hemorrhage. So late in the season in March, about the season in the shop, they get waxed. They get sharpened. They couldn't adjust my bindings. The bindings hold your feet to the skis and they either break off when you fall or they don't. They protect your knees. Mine were set very high because you ski a lot of steep bumps. And when you're skiing, there's nothing more frustrating when your skis quit and you don't actually fall and it caused you to fall.
Yeah.
So mine were set to the gills. Cool with it, no big deal. Took a stab March 31st, landed on sun, a beautiful bluer day. The base of the Gross Mountain Super Sky Ride. I told the boys, Andrew and RJ, we're going to be the last ones on the gondola. An old hack is a ski racing punk. That way you can just your skis and your poles and the doors closed behind you. Right up hands free. OGs on the hill, right?
Yeah.
Get the gear looking right. We're grinding up on the gondola over the first tower. big forwards, big back. Now close your eyes, please. Let's keep the last leg of the gondola. Feel a nipple cold in your cheeks. Not a lot, but enough to let you know you're at altitude. Dock at the station. Walk to the station with a gear. Clomp, 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 clomp. Open the doors. Let the sun hit your face. Beautiful bluebird day. Big inhale through your nose. Smell the pines, the cedars, the hemlocks down the stairs. Clang, clang, clang onto the snow. Crunch, crunch, crunch. It's soft back, don't you know? It's springtime. Open your eyes, please. Got situated the boys, Andrew and RJ. And after 10 years off the slopes, I skied. And I skied like I never missed a day. 3 pumps to the poles into a left-hand turn. Again and again and again. Just like I had visualized. It was flawless skiing. Looks like I hadn't been off the hill in a day.
Wow.
And this was a moonshot goal, right? Something bold to aspire to. Something I can never get back to doing. And here I am skiing.
Yeah.
Now you have goals you're aiming at. What's holding you back? No one to walk, talk, or smile? Remind me of this quote from Confucius. He said, "We'll have 2 lives. And the second begins when we realize that we only have one." That was the best day I've had since brain injury. That if I believe in something, I can make it happen. That was a good memory, so thank you for bringing that up, Brandi.
Wow. This has been such an insightful conversation with you. Really focused a lot on mindset and something that's so important. And I'm so glad we were able to learn a lot from you from this episode of small wins and how to believe in yourself and your quote of not why me, but try me.
Yeah, it's very provocative, I think. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool branding for myself because it's kind of my attitude.
I love
It's
it.
like, is that all you got? Like,
Yeah, it's
no,
bold.
try me. Like, actually try me.
Yep. Yeah.
It's it lands with me, and I hope it lands for you, and not in such an aggressive and intentional way, but like it's more like a subtle belief in yourself that you can make things happen. Like, no, try me. That's it. All you got.
Yeah.
Try me.
I saw it on your website and I was going to ask you a question about it, but you brought it up first, which I loved because I was going to ask you what that meant to you because I loved how bold it is. And just again, with you and your story, that's the way you're thinking. And a lot of people in the world, I feel like, haven't really experienced what you've gone through. Like you said, 10% have gotten this. Like it's just for you to have that type of mindset, given what you've been through. I think there's just so much we can learn from it. So I love the why, not why me, try me. I like it.
Thank you, Brandi. I think it's pretty cool,
Yeah.
and it's very me,
Yeah.
which I think everyone who's known me through this setback after setback after setback is like that's been my mindset. Is like no, try me.
Yeah.
Guess I'm leveling up now. Like I lost my job 3 years ago from Hootsuite, part of a corporate restructuring. Last story, and then the conversation for the day.
No, you're good.
My brother goes, "Dan, I'm sorry to hear about the job loss. Wrong side of the spreadsheet, no fault of my own, but just downsizing. So I was cut from my job.
Yeah.
No one knew this would be a minor blip." And I was like, yeah, you know what? This is a minor blip. So that day I had a boozy lunch. Decided I'm a keynote speaker tomorrow, which means I need a computer today. Went down to the Apple store and like, let's go. Try me, baby. This is going to keep me down. And I'm like, smoke screen cover, like, oh, the job's lost is so devastating. Like, Googling how to become a keynote speaker, like,
Yeah.
in the background. But like the mindset is like, oh, no, try me. Like, try me.
Yeah.
I'm going to make this work. Try me.
Yeah. No matter what it is that you go through. Yeah. I love that. I really do. I love to leave listeners at the end of every episode just something they can take away from your story and from everything we've learned today. What is the core message you want to make sure that listeners get from today's conversation?
That idea of aim small, miss small, and ratchet. So going back to the meditation for 2 minutes, then 4 minutes, then 6 minutes, then 8 minutes. That's the new baseline. You ratchet that in, that's the new baseline, what you do. Get that habit into your vibe and try it out with walking, meditation, anything you want to do. But just look to improve on it week after week, month after month, year after year. And watch the progress baffle you. It's going to be like, well, I was doing 2 minutes in the morning the last year, and now I'm doing 20.
Yeah.
But it's by small, consistent action that you can get there, right?
Yeah.
It works. It's tiresome. It's redundant. It's relentless. It's ever going, but it works. The proof's in the pudding.
Yeah, it's the change, and it will change your life, it sounds like. Yeah, for the better. Thank you again so much, Dan. I've truly enjoyed this conversation today.
Hey, Brandy, I appreciate you. Thank you for having the show.
Absolutely.